I'm Randy Shaler, and as you see in the agenda, my purpose here is to welcome you. Welcome. But the real purpose for this is for me to deliver a proclamation. Now, proclamations are something that the mayor has the authority to do, and the purpose for them is to draw attention to something of significance. Some proclamations are more significant than others. The one I'm about to read is very significant. It is a great honor to recognize Jones Memorial Hospital CEO President Eva Benedict for her dedication as a community member and for her current and past achievements providing and leading health care for residents of Wellsville, New York and surrounding communities. Whereas Wellsville and surrounding community residents have relied on and trusted Jones Memorial Hospital and its professionals for nearly a century as their source of health care. And whereas Eva Benedict has dedicated nearly 4 decades of her life maintaining that trust by providing and leading the efforts of others who provide health care to our communities. And whereas Jones Memorial Hospital has thrived and continues to thrive under the leadership of Eva Benedict, and whereas Eva Benedict has selflessly participated throughout the Wellsville area in numerous civic, community, and charitable causes, and whereas Eva Benedict has been selected the 2020 New York State Senate 57th Senate District Woman of Distinction, bringing well-deserved recognition and honor to herself and to Wellsville. Now therefore, let it be known, I, Randy M. Shaler, Mayor of the Village of Wellsville, do hereby proclaim August 14th, 2020 to be Eva Benedict Day in Wellsville, New York, and I urge all residents to join me in this observance. And Eva, we have a plaque that, no, I'll get it to you, okay? Now, at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the host of today's ceremony, our state senator representing the 57th District, George Borrello. Senator Borrello served for many years in Chautauqua County government, the last 2 as county executive prior to his election to the Senate in November 2019. In less than 1 year in office, he has already proven himself to be a fierce advocate for the citizens of Allegheny County, the Southern Tier, and Western New York. And based on his selection for Women of Distinction, he has proven he has excellent judgment. Senator George Borrello.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate that. Thank you for your proclamation, and I'd just like to welcome everybody here. This is truly challenging times, but exciting times, so I'm glad to be here to honor someone who is truly a woman of distinction here. Eva really exemplifies the spirit of excellence and service that this award represents. From the support I see here today, it's clear that you all agree. Let me just introduce quickly the folks that are here, including Eva's family, who's joined us here. First of all, in addition to Eva, her husband, Neil Benedict, is here. Neil? Yeah. Her daughter, Megan Peters, with her husband, Aaron. Jill Velassi, with her husband, Matt. And also Eva's mother, Margaret Russell, who's here. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. And we have some other dignitaries here, so I'd like to welcome you all. All of you took the time out today to be here, particularly our Congressman, Tom Reed. Of course, our Assemblyman, Joe Giulio of the 148th Assembly District. Joe, thank you very much for being here. And of course, I already mentioned the mayor who introduced us. And in addition to that, we also have Stephen Goldstein, the president and CEO of Strong Memorial Hospital. See Stephen here? Yeah, all right. Oh, there you go. Thank you. And also the president, excuse me, the chairman of Jones Memorial Hospital, Mr. Richard Ewell. Richard, thank you very much for being here. You know, I never really could have predicted that my first year as a senator would be as challenging as this has been. I mean, I don't think any of us expected a, once in a century pandemic to happen. But, it really made us reevaluate what's important in life and really think about what is important. And what's truly important are people and people that support our communities, those people that have been on the front lines of this. And Eva Benedict really, truly exemplifies someone who's been on the front lines of this pandemic. But it goes beyond that, really. We're celebrating her extraordinary leadership of this hospital, but it goes so far beyond just the doors of those hospitals. Eva has been a champion for rural hospitals throughout the area, and she's been an amazing part of this community. So really, today, we're looking at not just Eva, the leader of this hospital, but Eva, who has been truly a great member of this community and has supported Wellsville and the entire western New York and southern tier. As a healthcare advocate, certainly this is a tough time for rural hospitals. And that's really where I think prior to this pandemic, we see such great leadership from Eva. I think we all know that rural hospitals throughout this area are suffering, really across the nation. And being able to take the hospital like Jones Memorial and make it into something that has been successful and is actually growing in light of the fact of the challenges that are faced in healthcare in general is truly an amazing accomplishment. And again, we appreciate what you have done. In addition to all of that, Eva is also a wonderful wife, mother, grandmother, and daughter. So, to be a part of that family and to have such a leader must certainly be an honor for all of you. So, again, thank you very much for being here. And that now I'm going to introduce, we have a special guest here that is going to honor us by leading the Pledge of Allegiance. It's my honor to introduce Mr. Lyle Edwards. Let me also add that Mr. Edwards is also an Army veteran and has proudly served our nation in the Korean War. So thank you very much.
I think about the Korean War 7 years ago. I think I done a boat coming home. I don't think possible. Could travel by boat at that time. His life service became home by boat. I tried just a little bit about that. We landed in San Francisco. And we went down the gangplank. And by the boat, there was an American woman, and she smelled so bad and wonderful. She handed me a donut and a paper. She had a paper with all our names onto it. So that was my way to coming back to home and seeing the American flag again. Yeah. I don't know how, I know Linda knew we would travel outside the country. You miss seeing the American flag. Why, I was about 2 years overseas, and boy, I missed that. It's the greatest flag in the world. It's a real honor, even from my wife and I, to be able to celebrate this day. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you again.
Same here.
Now, if you be nice to me, I will vote for you.
My wife told me.
I'm 91 years old, so I may not be here too long.
Well, appreciate you being here today, and we're certainly honored to have a veteran and someone with such an amazing story to tell to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Shall we say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, justice for all. And I hasten to add, God bless our hope and forever.
Thank you very much. This is a special occasion for me because I actually got to speak before Tom Reed, which never happens. But I would, well, let me just say, for elected officials, healthcare access and top quality funding are issues that we're always on top of our priority list. And that's why it's grateful that we have the good fortune to have an outstanding leader like Eva in our healthcare community, keeping us engaged and working with us towards goals that will benefit our residents. I know that Congressman Tom Reed shares that view, and I'm grateful that he's joined us today for today's ceremony. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Congressman Tom Reed.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Senator, for that introduction. Thank you to everyone for coming out today to celebrate this great day. To Mr. Edwards, thank you for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you for your service. And thank you for reminding us of this great country and the land that we live in. It is the greatest country that's ever existed on the face of the earth. And we always stand for her each and every day. So God bless. So today we're here to celebrate a very special person. And to my colleagues, Senator Borrello, thank you for recognizing Eva Sue. Joe Giglio, Randy, thank you for celebrating a truly wonderful individual. We've known Eva Sue for many years, and I got to tell you, she has become an individual that I reach out to on a regular basis on healthcare issues in particular, but also as a voice for the community. Your mother, your wife, Neil, is somebody whose voice is trusted. And we have talked many hours on many of issues, not only for issues facing Jones Memorial, but issues facing the community, because she knows the community. She loves the community. She loves its people. She loves what she does. And to your mother, Margaret, I wish my mom was here. I miss her each and every day. So to have your mom here must mean the world to you, and you should be rightfully proud of this young lady that you have produced. Because Eva Sue Benedict does it right. She does it right each and every day. She does it right when people are watching, but most importantly, she does it right when no one is watching. So Eva Sue, I just wanted to come today to stand in recognition of you. We have officially recognized you in the annals of the United States House of Representatives records that will be there forever. So if you ever want to look this up in the congressional records, you can do that. It will be there again forever. And you don't maybe want to read what I put in there because it's, no, I'm just kidding. No, I just know who you are, Eva, and you are really one of the good souls in our community. And this recognition is very well deserved, and it is something that we easily give because you've earned it and you deserve it, and we thank you for everything you have done. On behalf of our area, we say thank you.
Tom, thank you very much. Again, we appreciate you being here. We know how busy your schedule is, covering 11 counties and a district the size of the state of New Jersey, so we appreciate you being here today with us. So next up is a guy that I work with on a daily basis, and that's our Assemblyman Joe Giglio. He's been representing us here since 2005. His background is in law enforcement and sheriff, and so he understands what it's like to be on the front lines, like Eva and everybody else that works in healthcare. And I'm honored to have him here and to speak, and I'd like to ask Assemblyman Joe Giglio to please come up.
Good afternoon. I'm going to start by telling you two things that I probably shouldn't say. One, I came here because I needed to be uplifted. Two, I'm envious of the Senate that has this award, the Assembly does not. So let me just get started. I have had the good fortune of working with Eva since she started as the top of the Jones Memorial Hospital. And we have met so many times, and the last time we were together, we were in my office in Albany just as COVID was hitting. And she outlined for me in no uncertain terms on what the problems were going to be that she was going to face. And all I could say is, good luck. But in all sincerity, I did come up to be uplifted, and now I got it twice. First of all, Lyle, God bless you, and thank you for what you've done. And, you know, I have always heard this thing from a person that was at an awards dinner when he was going to lose his life, and he said, you got to do three things in a day. You got to smile, you got to laugh, and you got to cry. So far, Mr. Edwards has made me cry. You have made me smile. Like I said, I came here selfishly. We need to be uplifted. It has been a horrible time. We as the elected officials and everybody else in this room has been fighting a fight, like George alluded to, that we've never fought before. But through it all, we have people like her, people like the rest of you in this room. And every once in a while, we get a chance to celebrate those things. And so I am so thankful that I was able to be here today, thankful that I was invited, thankful to meet Mr. Edwards, just thankful that you're still on the job. God bless you all.
Thank you, Joe. Well, the whole cry, smile, laugh, I know that on a daily basis, I do make Joe laugh because I'll pick up the phone and say, guess what I want to do? And then always say just like that. So thank you very much for being here as well. We are honored to have with us also Stephen Goldstein, President and CEO of Strong Memorial Hospital and Highland Hospitals in Rochester, and Senior Vice President of the University of Rochester Medical Center. In 2015, Jones Memorial Hospital marked a milestone when it joined the University of Rochester Medical Center family. That partnership and Eva's contributions have given Stephen insights, and he has joined us here to share them with us. So without further ado, Stephen Goldstein.
I actually prepared remarks because Congressman Reed's here, and that makes me nervous. You know, I have to tell you that for many years I have sat at his knee and we've talked about the issues within healthcare and some of the great challenges facing our country. It was a beautiful drive today from Rochester. I took all the back roads. I wanted to see the corn. I grew up in Brooklyn. My first job was at the University of Nebraska Medical Center, and I was a corn husker for 5 years and used to travel the state, and it reminded me so much of that beautiful part of the world and what rural America really looks like, agrarian society. I should also say thank you, Mr. Edwards. I had another experience while I was driving. My son, who's a lieutenant colonel in the medical corps, is in Iraq, and he FaceTimed me. And you know, this is something that's very unique, where all of a sudden you're driving and you're getting FaceTime. He's going, "Hi, how's it going? What are you doing?" Well, by the way, it's 119 degrees in Iraq right now, and it gets up to about 125, and you have sand, and it's the whole thing. But hopefully he'll be home soon, and that'll be great. We're looking forward to it. So are his wife and 3 children. We at the University of Rochester Medical Center are just enormously proud that Eva Benedict is being honored as the New York State Senate 2020 Woman of Distinction. And by the way, I did try to find out if the Assembly did this, but I could not find it, and I know why now. As you have heard, she's been selected by Senator Borrello as the 57th Senate honoree for extraordinary achievements, dedication to preserving access to high-quality care for the Wellsville community. And the award pays tribute to women who have demonstrated character, initiative, and commitment, and have really acted as a role model within their communities. And as I reflected on the award, the word distinction really described it perfectly. Distinction means excellence that sets someone apart from others. That phrase really describes Eva to a T. And what a time it is to display that trait. I don't have to tell anybody here that this is a difficult time for all of us. We're each being asked to contribute our strength to really lift our institutions, our families, our businesses, our communities, our country, to tackle the daunting problems that confront us. Now, to be a leader at a difficult time, one must really have a core set of values. And one must be able to adopt these values to tackle the challenges head on and really clearly visualize what success looks like. As a leader, you have to communicate that to all and then really work collaboratively with others to develop the approaches necessary to be successful. And I work with Eva's team, and they are an incredible, cohesive group that serves your community, and I know she's very proud of them, and you should be too. That's what leaders really do. Communicate and visualize, communicate, and then put into action. And that's who Eva is. She's really a leader of distinction. Now, what are her values? We talked a little bit about that. Well, I asked Eva that simple question. What are you most proud of in your 40 years of service to the community, 40 plus years? Her answer was, and this really gets to the heart of her values, that she's most proud of being a nurse, whether it's serving individual patients and their families. She has moved up the ladder from a nurse and then director of nursing and then CEO of Jones Memorial. Eva cared about being a healthcare provider, a healer, a nurturer of people and organizations, and ultimately the community. We all appreciate that these are tough times, particularly tough for rural hospitals, it was mentioned, who really struggle to provide advanced health care with diminishing resources for a community who deserves nothing short of the best. And that's really one of the commitments that the University of Rochester Medical Center has made in its association with multiple rural hospitals. Now, Eva's track record has really been exemplary. She's been, as I mentioned, an outstanding nurse, an outstanding nurse executive, and a CEO. And she's led the way in really recruiting healthcare personnel for the community, building alliances with other organizations, investing in important clinical services like cancer services, women's and infant services, primary care. She's recruited surgeons of many specialties to the community. She has a wonderful relationship with the medical staff, a wonderful relationship with her board and her employees, and a terrific relationship with her community. She also has a tremendous relationship with our legislative leaders, like Congressman Reed and Senator Borrello and the Assemblyman, both of whom have really, all of whom have been staunch supporters of our community and have really helped us tremendously in navigating through these very perilous times. You know, on a personal note, I do want to thank Congressman Reed. You may not be aware, but literally over the last few months, he has reached out to us every day. And we have a group of all of his, the institutions represented, both hospitals, nursing homes, others, in all of his counties. And we have phone calls with him and his staff, and whether he's on the floor of the Congress or whatever, he makes an effort to talk with us. He's available 24/7. He calls me on Saturdays. It's just a wonderful thing, and I tremendously look forward to it. And I will tell you, when he calls, I happened to be, the last time he called me on a Saturday, I was in my porch, and my wife said to me, "Why are you standing when you're talking on the phone?" But I felt I had to do that. So we're really grateful for his unrelenting support. It goes both ways. There you go. Thank you. And he's really led, not only in his support, but his leadership in having included within the CARES Act $9.3 million, which came to Jones Memorial Hospital over the last few weeks, and has really assisted us to get through this very difficult time. On a statewide basis, Eva is an acknowledged expert in rural health care, and she has served on and led many Haney's efforts to assist rural hospitals in the state. Over the past year or so, Eva and her team, Jim Helms and others, and the group at the medical center have been responsible for procuring over $37.7 million from New York State's Department of Health, which has been funds that have been used to preserve health care within our community, within the Wellsville community, improve your electronic medical record, as well as recapitalize your facility, which is so sorely in need of upgrading. For that support, we're deeply indebted to the Department of Health, led by Dr. Zucker, and the governor for their faith in us in providing, helping us to acquire these funds to really improve health care in Wellsville. Regarding the medical center, Eva is a thought leader. Our goals at the medical center are fairly simple. We want to provide health care for a broad area of upstate New York. We want to train the next generation of healthcare providers, and we want to conduct research that improves care for all of our citizens. Eva has worked closely with St. James and with Noyes Memorial to really maximize the opportunity of providing health care for the southern tier, improving the quality of care and reducing the cost to patients. So Eva, congratulations on receiving this award. You have earned it, and we're very proud and honored to have been associated with you for many, many years. So thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it very much. Next up, Mr. Richard Ewell. He's been the chairman of the Jones Memorial Board of Directors since 2018. He is also a lifelong resident of Wellsville and is vice president of Richardson & Stout Insurance, a division of the Evans Agency. One of the hospital's strengths is its committed board, and I'm grateful that Rich has joined us to share his perspective on Eva's leadership and how that advances their mission. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I've known Steve for maybe 5 years. I've never seen him use notes before. He's good. He's a good speaker. I was glad to be asked to speak today on behalf of UR, Jones Memorial Hospital, Board of Directors, employees, and medical staff. We're all so happy for you, Eva, and so proud of you that you're receiving this award today. I've been on the board for 6 years and have been chairman for 3. And during this time, I've learned a lot about Jones Memorial and about rural health care in New York in general. And I have an appreciation for all it takes to successfully run a rural hospital. Over the years, I've seen Eva use her skill set that includes confidence, creativity, modesty, intelligence, tenacity, work ethic, kindness, and caring for others to overcome so many obstacles. Those qualities that I just listed are qualities of a leader, which Eva definitely is a leader. We have had recruitment issues, financial issues, regulatory issues, a cyber attack, and most recently a pandemic. And Eva has helped us navigate through all of that. We're coming out on the other side, and our hospital is in better shape financially and operationally than it has been in many, many years, as long as I've been on the board, and I'm sure many years before that. The last thought I have is a story I want to share that I've heard Eva tell, that years ago when a board member, I think it was Sammy, I think she's here, I think I saw her, urged her to throw her hat in the ring for consideration to be the CEO. I think Eva originally said no, and she probably didn't think she was qualified. She probably didn't think she was ready, but turns out she was qualified and she was ready, and Eva is doing an outstanding job as our CEO, an outstanding job for our hospital, for our UR affiliation, and most importantly, an outstanding job for our community. Congratulations on this well-deserved award. You certainly are a woman of distinction.
Well, Well, I want to thank everybody, all the speakers that came out today to honor Eva. And we are coming to the end of the program, so to speak, but I just wanted to make sure that I had an opportunity to say a few words. And I, too, have prepared words because I wanted to make sure I got it right also. The Woman of Distinction Award was inaugurated by the Senate in 1997 to pay tribute to outstanding records of achievement for women who have made throughout this great Empire State, from the start of the women's suffrage movement over 170 years ago to the present day. Although our ceremony typically takes place in May, the COVID crisis necessitated this change of schedule, yet this August celebration ideally coincides with Women's Suffrage Month, and it is 100 years ago that the 19th Amendment was ratified, granting women the right to vote. Eva Benedict and her accomplishments are a reminder of how much has changed in those 100 years, and how exceptional leaders like her continue to move the goals of equality, opportunity, and impact forward. Like many leaders, Eva's path to this moment began with a sincere desire to help others. Her mother, Margaret, worked in healthcare at Ira Davenport in Bath. Eva volunteered there as a candy striper. During college, she explored a number of healthcare-related fields, but she eventually settled on nursing because it offered the greatest opportunity to care for patients. She started at Jones Memorial Hospital in 1981 as a critical care staff nurse. Over the next 2 decades, her contribution of skill, compassion, and natural leadership qualities opened many doors of opportunity. With each new position came new possibilities to expand her contributions to patients, the hospital, and her community. This journey culminated with her appointment as president and CEO in 2007. Yet, occurring parallel to Eva's career were seismic shifts in the healthcare sector, particularly for rural hospitals. Population changes, combined with the changing economics of the industry, were putting many smaller rural hospitals out of business. Yet, with Eva Benedict at the helm, those challenges were met and overcome. In 2015, she led an exhaustive evaluation of potential healthcare partners, culminating in Jones Memorial Hospital's affiliation with the University of Rochester Medical Center. The partnership has benefited the community through expanded healthcare services, a wider network of specialists, and a stronger financial foundation. Eva is now leading the hospital to its next chapter. In February, the hospital was awarded a $17 million healthcare facility transformation grant from New York State. The funding will support major capital improvements, including the expansion and modernization of the surgical services suite and a third-floor addition for physician offices. Shortly after that February announcement, our world was turned upside down and our healthcare providers and facilities were coping with the COVID-19 crisis. Once again, Eva rose to every challenge, from ensuring the highest level of care for ill patients, to protecting the healthcare and safety of staff, to navigating the financial impact. Today, as we honor Eva Benedict, her many accomplishments are clear to us. But I want to know what she considered to be her greatest achievement, similar to what you had asked. So this is the reply that I received. Leading a hospital with individuals dedicated to providing high-quality care to the members of our community, a hospital that I don't hesitate to trust with the care of my family. Modern equipment and updated buildings are obviously important, but they are secondary to the people working inside those walls. That's how Eva feels about the people that she works with and the institution that she leads. So that speaks volumes. Like so many exceptional women who came before her, Eva hasn't been driven by a need for recognition or accolades. Her motivation has been a sincere desire to help people and serve her community. The opportunities that were fought for and won by pioneering New York women 100 years ago are being embraced and steadily pushed forward by extraordinary 21st century women like Eva Benedict. That is worth celebrating. In that spirit, I'm proud to recognize Eva Benedict as New York State's Woman of Distinction. Congratulations, Eva. This is a well-deserved award.
Well, thank you all for being here with me to share this day. Senator Borrello, thank you for choosing me as this year's Woman of Distinction for the 57th District. And thank you for serving as our state senator and representing the needs of our community. Your support of rural health care is appreciated and will be needed more now than ever. Mayor Shaler, wow. Eva Benedict Day in Wellsville. Never dreamed that would happen. Although I do believe it speaks to our community's appreciation for Jones Memorial Hospital and the medical community that cares for them. Thank you very much. Thank you to my dear friends, Lyle Edwards and Ruth, for being here today. They've dedicated countless hours to volunteering at Jones. Lyle's still an active volunteer, and we have missed him during the COVID restrictions. So it's nice to see you today, both of you. In addition to the Senator and Mayor Shaler, thank you to all the speakers today. Congressman Reed, Assemblyman Giglio, Steve Goldstein, Rich Schewel, and Mayor Shaler. For your kind words and acknowledgments of the accomplishments we've achieved at UR Jones, while I gratefully accept this recognition today, these accomplishments and wonderful care given at Jones is certainly a team effort and not accomplished alone. Many of the people in this room today are part of that team. The Jones board members, board foundation members, and they all volunteer, and we appreciate their time and their expertise. A dedicated and committed medical staff that are here to support me today in their busy lives. Thank you all very much. The administrative team. Steve Goldstein is absolutely right. I have the best administrative team. They do a great job. And I especially want to thank Donna Bliven, the Jones CNO, an employee for over 40 years, who's retiring soon. Thank you, Donna. The managers and the staff that work at Jones. Our auxilians and volunteers who, again, volunteer countless hours to help us. My colleagues at the university, Steve Goldstein has truly been a champion for the regional hospitals. And my fellow regional CEOs, Amy Pollard of Noyes Health, another nurse CEO. And Brian O'Donovan, CEO of St. James and Hornell. Thank you for working with me and supporting our regional efforts. And thank you to my dear friends, all of you for your encouraging words and support throughout my career. Very much appreciated. And last but not least, my family. My mom for encouraging and supporting me and giving me the opportunities that she didn't have. My daughters and their husbands, Megan and Aaron Peters, Jillian and Matthew Velassi for being here with me today. And finally, my husband, Neil, my biggest cheerleader. He keeps 2 households running, my mom's and ours. He's always been very supportive of me whatever I ask him to do for Jones Memorial. He's been there. I couldn't do this without him. Thank you. Again, thank you, Senator Borrello, for this honor, and thank all of you for supporting Jones Memorial and for supporting me and being here today. Thanks to the Senator's office and his staff, Judy Burt, who was the creator of the buttons, Jody Pearson and Terry Monroe, who isn't here today because we needed to keep numbers down. But she certainly did a lot to organize this today. So thank you for all of you who organized this event. Again, thank you all for supporting me and for supporting Jones Memorial.
Thank you, Eva. It's such a special honor. You know, awards like this mean a lot to our community, but this year in particular, every senator has the opportunity to give out this award, but so few moved forward this year. There are a lot of challenges a lot of places right now. But I think it speaks to our community and the resiliency of our community that not only did we move forward with this, but look at the turnout today. Look at the people that are here and look at the heartfelt words that were heard today. It speaks to who we are, the resilient and caring community that we are here, not just in Wellsville, not just in Allegheny County, but throughout Western New York and the Southern Tier. And that's what makes this day even more special. So thank you all very much for being here, and thank you for your continued support. And working together, we will get through this challenge. With people like Eva Benedict at the helm of places like Jones Memorial, I'm confident that our better days ahead and our best days are definitely ahead. So thank you all very much for being here today.